So, welcome everybody again. I don't know if you heard me with the first part. So today's conversation that we're talking about is missed opportunities. Missed opportunities. Have you ever had a moment in your life where you felt like you missed an opportunity, but by missing that opportunity, it brought you to a new place and a new spot? So, what I want you guys to do is give a special welcome to the guest that I have for today. The first guest I'm bringing on is one of my best friends. I've known him for years, and he is in Georgia right now. But I'm gonna let you tell you what's going on with his life. Give it up for Pastor Michael Shelton. Mike, what's going on, man?
What's going on? What's going on? It's good to be here. Definitely glad I get to communicate with you and everybody else watching online as well.
Gotcha. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, what's going on in your life, and everything like that?
Yeah. So as of yesterday, I was a pastor here in Georgia. I'm still a pastor, but I have a new church going to be in North Carolina. For those who want to know, I am also married. We got one son. We also have a fur baby as well. So we're just growing and what we're doing here. But I'm just so ready for this conversation.
All right. So we're gonna bring on our special next guest. He is a pastor here of the Lake Region Conference. Give it up for Pastor Denry White. What's going on, Pastor Denry White?
What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? How y'all doing, man? Just be honored to be right next to these two intelligent, defined men of the century. What's up, Pastor Shelton? Michael, what's up? Good seeing you, man.
Yes,
Avery,
sir.
thanks for the opportunity.
No problem, no problem. So, Pastor White, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? What's going on with you as of lately and everything?
Oh man, a little bit about myself. Uh, I'm going on 18 years, three amazing children. Sorry, Michael. Every man gotta claim their wife is to be the world. I pastor two beautiful congregations, Trinity Temple and Camberine and Battle Creek, and the list goes on and on. But we're here to talk about this amazing conversation, missed opportunity. So I rather give the time for that.
All right. So, gentlemen, with missed opportunity, have you ever felt like there's a time in your life where like you had a goal set and there was a chance to go for that set. There was a chance to go for it, but you didn't take it, you didn't go for it, and so you missed the chance to take it. Has there ever been a moment in your life like that?
Mike, you want to take?
Well, I think certainly I can name countless opportunities that were missed, not based on the fact that I didn't plan for them well. One of my struggles has always been communication. In more emphatically, one of my struggles have has been what's the word I'm looking for? Initiative, right? So there are sometimes I have goals, I have dreams, I have things that I want to do, but because I don't initiate the conversation with whoever I'm trying to, get in with, then I miss out on what, I'm trying to do. So that has been a growing challenge for myself, just this knack of being an initiator and getting what I want.
Got you. Pastor White, what about you? You might have lost him.
Yep.
Let's hope not. Pastor White, your signal's really bad. Really bad. So while we wait on you to get back in with us. Oh, there you are. Yes. I feel you on that. Because as Michael, like me and you've had this conversation multiple times. Like, I've always like since I was young, I've always wanted to get into the media world. I wanted to be an actor, comedian, music, and all that stuff. Like, and so I was always telling Michael and my friend Eric Bell, I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna be either like Will Smith or like Nick Cannon. Like that's my goal. Like I'm gonna either be a great actor and rapper, or I'm gonna be like or I'm gonna be like Nick Cannon, who's hosting great shows and all this stuff. Started my own program, started my own company, and everything like that. So I've always planned like that and try to work it like that, try to do things like that. And the struggle always been like I missed so many opportunities. Like there were so many job offers I had that could have helped go to that, but I was like, nah, man, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that. I can't do this. Oh, I missed that opportunity. And I had like a bunch of opportunities to go to Georgia and be a part of productions, be a part of things. But I was like, no, 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 I got more time. I got more time. I got more time. But what I realized by missing those opportunities, I was able to build greater opportunities in ministry where I'm not even out in the more world doing hip hop and all this stuff. Like I'm still rapping, I'm still singing, but I'm doing my own creativity with it. Because if I would have took those opportunities, I never would have met Pastor North. Um, I never would have been a part of like the Lake Region Conference that I am now, where I'm like everybody's go-to youth and young adult media person. If I would took some of the opportunities that I wanted, like Oakwood University, I did not want to go to Oakwood. I never would have roomed with Mike. That would have been a missed opportunity. Our relationship is best friend. I go hang out with him at least twice a year, and I get to. Yeah, I went to Oakwood. Me and Mike were at Oakwood same time. Graduated same year. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, yes, sir. Same as us. Like I appreciated. Like I could have gone these places. I could have did these things, but like I said, by missing those opportunities, I was able to grow what I have here. Now, both of you guys are pastors at your church. Has there ever been a scenario where, like, a youth or a young adult came to you, they wanted to do a program, and you were like, "Hey, this is not the time right now. But yo, we'll come back around to it." And then, like later on, when you try to come back around to it, they didn't want to do it anymore. They're like, "I don't even really care about it at this time." Have you ever had a moment like that as a pastor?
I guess in my scenario, I have not been um in that type of situation. Um I've served in two different, places in two different positions, but I guess in my most recent assignment, there were youth in our church, right?
Mm.
But then due to this big pandemic, the opportunity to use them in certain ways was null and void, right? I only saw them at church, right? This big pandemic comes, we don't have anything. Just we were so bad, we were having service on the phone. All right, these are youth, these are young people. The phone service is not going to cut it for them. So
Exactly.
what happened with them? They were living with their granddad, and they went back home, and I've never seen them ever again. So the opportunity or the chance to use them was there. We wanted to, but then pandemic happened. Nobody was at church. They lost interest in even, being forced to come back. If that makes sense.
Got you. Got you. Yeah, well, being an AY leader and being in like during this whole pandemic and everything like that, a lot changed for ministry, especially trying to reach young people. Um, and I was telling in the conversation I had with Pastor Osborne a while back, I was saying like I Mike, and you know this for a fact, I was not a TikTok fan, TikTok person, TikTok really trying to be a part of anything TikTok. But during this pandemic, I was talking to my mimes and everything like that. They're like, "Yo, have you seen this latest TikTok? Oh, have you seen it?" I was like, "What is? I don't even watch TikTok. What is it?" And so then I had to learn how to use TikTok, be a part of TikTok, and try to create little programs for TikTok to find ways to reach the youth. Because I realized, like, if I did not take this chance now, I was gonna miss the opportunity to reach some people. And
Mhm.
so I started doing that, but then I also had the program with Pastor North, AY Snap, that we were doing. And he was like, we got to put it on TikTok. Well, we started putting that stuff on TikTok. We had like 500, 600 views over some little snippet, 20-second snippet that we said about something like that. And I was like, oh, TikTok can be used as a ministry, even with 30 seconds. But like I said, it's hard as like especially because of the pandemic. You have to find new outlets, new ways to reach people, so that you don't miss on the chance of opportunity. Like 2 years ago, I had to do junior camp. I had to do a whole junior camp virtually. Now I've been in school programs virtually. I've done services virtually. But I was like, how do you do a whole junior camp virtually, where the kids are at home stuck and they can't do stuff. So I started reaching out to friends. I called you, Pastor White. I called Michael. We were all on this Zoom call doing stuff. Michael brought us a 5 minute devotion and everything like that. Even had a couple where MJ came flying through the room and he was a part of this devotion. Pastor White, you did a whole ministry on a Zoom call and you put a whole production together and everything like that. The kids were in it, and I was like, "Oh, we did a whole motion picture, and these kids were not in the same room. They were not in the same." I was like, "All right," so I was like, "There are ways to minister and everything like that without without the opportunity." So we didn't miss that opportunity to reach those kids because those kids came to me last year. A lot of them who were part of the program, they're like, "Oh, are we doing another skit or something like that? Are we doing this? Oh, are we doing?" I was like, "We're not doing it for this one, but I promise you, we're gonna bring it back. We're gonna bring it back." So it's literally a lot of opportunities, I guess, that I'm glad I was here to be a part of.
Mhm.
Now, have you guys ever, like, as a pastor, have you ever felt like you missed an opportunity in anything? Like maybe not with the young people, like in your church, you saw that there was something that should have happened, but you were like, "This is not the time," and you passed over it, and you were like, "Ah, let me do this, let me do this," but like then you realize a little bit later, like, "Ah, I could have got that. Oh
Mm.
man, that probably would have reached that person." Or like even when you're doing your sermon, you start to notice things because I know like when I'm talking, I look at people and I start to see, oh, this person probably about to go to sleep right now. Oh, this person probably gonna start focusing on their phone. Oh, this person, I'm not reaching. But then you might get a. So you try to change up your word when you're preaching a certain way or anything like that. Have you ever had a moment like that?
Hmm. Mm. Mm. Mhm. I guess I can speak to a time where a opportunity was definitely missed out. And this comes at I'm real young in ministry, and I am serving as the assistant or associate pastor of the Decatur church, right? I am assigned to do a certain job, but I don't feel like I am that type of person. Be more specific to you for this conversation. I'm assigned to be the youth pastor, right? So I am now in this position where I am comparing myself to all the other youth pastors that have come before me. I have skills, I have things that I'm good at, but I don't have enthusiasm, right? I'm an old man in a young man's body, right? I move real real methodical, real slow. I don't think youth are going to grab onto me. But in my time of fighting this
Mhm.
idea, I missed an opportunity to reach all the young people in the church. Come
Uh,
to find out, they still talk about me, and I've been gone. So just the opportunity was missed for me mainly because I didn't think I was good enough based on the fact that I was comparing myself to other people. You mentioned sermons or talks. Hindsight is always 2020, right? I know it's a practice I need to do, but I hate looking at videos of my previous sermons because when I look at them, I
mm,
think about everything that I could have, added in that wasn't in the notes. Or I think about how I could have said these words in a different way, bringing in a different kind of illustration. So that happens to everyone really when you think about, what you just said and then think about how you could have said it differently and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I feel you because like one thing I know, like you said, like where you felt like you were good enough. I feel like that all the time in everything that I do, all the programs, all the events, everything like that. And Mike, like I've told you this, I was like, I'll be doing stuff, and everybody be like, "Oh, Avery, you did a great job." I was like, man, I don't even think I'm worthy to hold this platform. I was like,
Yeah.
as much stuff as I've been gone through and done, I was like, nah. I was like, but it's an opportunity, and like people tell me all the time, like I like Pastor White. One thing you probably don't know. When Junior Camp was first introduced to me, it was by North and Michael. They were like, "Hey, we need somebody to come work to say." I told them throughout the whole camp meeting, I was not working Junior Camp. I would not be coming down to this Junior Camp. And like they worked on me the whole camp, and they're like, "Yeah, Avery, you're gonna come on, Avery." They had me in secret. They ever do meetings and everything like that. I thought me and Mike were going to get food. We'd be on the golf cart, and all of a sudden we pull up, and Pastor North like, "All right, so let's have this meeting for junior camp and everything like that." I was like, "Why am I in this meeting?" I said, "I am not coming to junior camp." So then when it finally they finally convinced me to come, I came to junior camp and everything like that. And then like I was like, this is my first year. I told Mike, I was like, I'm gonna mess up probably this whole time. I don't know what I'm doing. But like literally the next camp meeting after I did that, I had kids running up to me, kaboom! That's so good. Da, da, da." And I was like, I thought I did a horrible job. I thought I failed. I did not think I was worthy. I thought North was gonna be like, yeah, man, we not gonna bring you back next year because you was messing up a few things right there. But I'm kind of glad, like I'm glad Michael introduced me to it because like now with the position I have as like the executive coordinator of junior camp, where I'm like planning the whole thing, I was like, wow. I still tell like Latita and out there, I don't even think I'm worthy to really hold this position. But all right, I'm gonna keep doing what I can to make it better and everything like that. What about you, Pastor White? Like, have you ever had one of those moments where you felt like you were not worthy to
Oh man,
hold?
1,000 times. Can you hear me better now? Just want to make sure.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Yeah. I mean, man, all the time. Even sometimes when I still go up there and preach and minister to the churches, it's just our human nature. And then also the level of our connection with God. I mean, here's an almighty God asking an imperfect person to do phenomenal things. You know, um, I mean, there's been opportunities that I think when I get to heaven, Jesus and I just gonna have a pow moment of all the opportunities that I've missed, you know. But at the same time, there's been opportunities that I took advantage of. Say, okay, right now that we need to do that. We need to go. When I left Oka 2005, graduated, I didn't go right away to the seminary. All my friends, Pastor Lee, Pastor Duncan, all them guys, went ahead and went right into ministry. I was like, oh God, you ain't talking to me. I made a mistake. I was too egotistic. I thought you called me, but you really didn't, and I went and left New York, went to Huntsville. So married, went to Atlanta. And while I'm in Atlanta, Shelton, every church I work with, after the first Sabbath, I'm either on the pulpit or on the pastoral staff. Like I just couldn't sit
Wow.
down. You see what I'm saying? I just couldn't sit down. I had to do ministry. I had to be involved with youth ministry. I had to be involved with drama. Every church that I went to, I put on the theater production. Every church I went to put on, you see what I'm saying? So I couldn't stay still. God was doing what he said he'll do through me, but I wasn't recognizing it until 2011. Times got hard too, and God had to show me up 2 kids and a wife. And then God was like, what you want to do? You want to still play around on the fence, or you gonna do what I asked you to do? And because he done that, once I said yes, it was like everything just went go. But even to this day, to answer your question, I still have moments where I'm like, you sure? I have those Gideon moments, you're like, me, those Moses moments, like, what? Me? No, no, no. Send Shelton, send somebody else,
Mm.
send Avery, not me. Send Avery, not me.
Man,
Yeah.
I feel it. I feel it. So, all right, let's get to right here. You guys are both sports people. I am
Mhm.
not. I Michael, he knows this for a fact. So yes, with your sports in the back, I see you, I see you, I see you. All right, with sports, um, you guys all watch the game and everything like that, and you'll be like hoping for the shot and everything like that, and like they go up for that three or like they go up for that layup, they go up for that dunk, and they miss it, and you're like, now when you guys see it in action like that, do you like reanalyze that whole situation? Like, this is how they could have fixed it. This is how that probably would have been better. Like, have you guys ever did that in watching the game?
Well, I think there are two different perspectives that you
Mm-hmm.
can that you can take in this scenario. If
Okay.
I'm sitting on the bench, then of course I can rewrite everything they should have done. But if I'm in the game, um, when a person misses the shot, it really doesn't matter, right? The person misses the
Mhm.
shot, it's your opportunity to get the rebound and pass the ball to them so they can get another shot. You right? If that doesn't happen, you get back on defense so you can get the ball back so you can get another shot. So in that regard, in sports and in other things, you don't spend time thinking about what you didn't do. Your main objective is to try to recreate another opportunity to get the basket or to get the touchdown or to get the goal in soccer. It you don't have time to to sit there and mope and pope. You got a job to do, and that's to get the W, by any means.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right.
You
What
know,
about you, Pastor White?
you wrote down something a couple to answer this question.
Mhm.
Last week I was watching the Kansas City Chiefs versus Buffalo Bills game. And I mean, that game was down to the wire, play after play. Both quarterbacks dropped 25 points, or a record in the fourth quarter. And then they went into overtime. And Pat Mahone got the ball. Chiefs scored, but Buffalo Bills quarterback didn't get the opportunity. And that's kind of like what you were saying before, in the sense of, somebody, because of the rules to overtime, and they were talking about that, man, we need to change the rules. That quarterback didn't even get a shot. He didn't even get into the game in the overtime. You see what I'm saying? And so, kind of like what you said before about, leadership, pastors or whatever, canceling out an idea from a youth. They didn't even get to see it on the platform, to get to even test it out to see if it works. But a lot of times ideas are shot down because either it's a policy, either it's a rule, or it's a procedure, or just the person in leadership's cocky attitude, like, nah, we're not interested in that. And so that's what you said, to analyze, in a game. That happens to us, unfortunately. A lot of us don't even get to play. Michael is right. If you're on the bench and you're like, man, I would have leaned to the left instead of to the right. Everybody's man's handles always to the left. He's always coming to the left. So if I block off the left, push him to the right, But if you're in the game now, and all you're gonna look back and like, man, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. So a lot of us don't even get the opportunity to play, and I feel it for those individuals, man. I feel it for them.
Dude. And I think that's one of my biggest things. Like, a lot of people, they're like, every year, you're always willing to give people a chance. And my thing is like, I'd rather give them a chance and let them fail, let them have that moment and everything like that. But like, I will still keep supporting you even though it's not successful. Like, I've done 50 million shows. And Pastor White, you've seen some of my shows. Michael's seen a bunch of my shows. I've done 50 million
Yeah.
different ones, and I've seen some that are successful. I've seen some that
Yeah.
fail. And so I take each one and learn from it. And I was like, all right, let's put this spin on. Let's do this. But then
Yeah.
I'm always willing to give somebody a shot. Like, hey, I want to be a comedian. I want to laugh. I'm like, oh man, I got you. I'll put you on this. Hey, I have one cousin who like literally wants to be a voice actor. Me and him literally created a whole podcast called Bedtime Comedy, where we took classic bedtime stories and put a comedy spin on it. And that's my thing. Like, I'm the type of person, I'm always trying to be in the game.
Yeah.
Like, even if I'm on the bench, I'm on the side like, yo, put me in the game and I'll
Yeah.
get you that shot back. I will let you do the like, I'm not one who's always trying to take the shot. I'm more
Yeah.
like, y'all take the shot, I'll be in the background. Let me edit the film. Let me record it for you. Let me do this and that for you. Because I
Yeah.
feel like it's always better to help. It's always better to push somebody else who's missing that opportunity. I've built a whole company based on it. I'm like, our goal is to help you get to the career you want to be.
Yo, that's phenomenal. That's exactly what it is, and that's why when I was at work, I remember one time we had the conversation maybe like 4 years ago or something. I saw some stuff that you had did, and I was like, yo, do you still doing this? It's like, yeah, I used to do it. And I'm like, "No, bro, get back to doing this." And then I checked your page again, and I'm like, man, okay, he got it. He's on fire, and whatever the case may be. So proud of you for doing that. Like we were saying, you know, uh, it's when you don't give people opportunity. I think one of the things in our churches, unfortunately, is that we glorify certain positions or certain talents or gifts, and others just get choked out or not even. And then, therefore, some people just like, I'm not even going to offer my suggestion because it more than likely, the red tape is not going to even get, if you're not preaching eloquently, if you're not singing dynamically, if you're not, I don't know what else. That's mainly the two that we highlight in our churches. And so anyone else who come with poetry, okay. And then we don't really show a lot of encouragement to our people. You've seen it. Come on, you both have seen it. Unfortunately, we've done sometimes when we've done youth programs or whatever, and we ask them to do a talent show. And it's like they don't even get the support. A lot of young adults or adults don't really come out and support and cheer, for to get a teenager to have the courage to and share a poetry that they wrote and then you're just like, who's gonna want to come back again? You're right, Mike. Who's gonna want to come back again and say, man, well, I'm gonna give. So I think that's also one of the ways too. We barricade opportunities because we just glorify some, but we just put others out that don't even allow them in the room to even give them a space, a platform to work with. So hats off to you, man. That is beautiful. That you're gonna be a great producer. I see it already. What you're doing right now. You're gonna be an excellent producer, man. Executive producer, man.
I'm trying, and I loved like what you said, like how we gotta keep boosting them and promote them and stuff like that. Because I'm always like anywhere I go, like me and Mike have a conversation, or me and Mike will do a program and everything like that, and like I may be like, man, this may flop, but my thing about it is like I'm still gonna put it out there. Like my thing is like I may have somebody who like, and my family used to joke on me about this. I did a whole series called Nursery Rhyme. It was the first season, and like I was putting everybody and anybody on there. And my family used to joke because like it didn't matter if the person did a horrible job, bad job, whatever. I was on there like, yo man, you killed it. That was the best song I ever heard. Everything that's gonna be a hit. That's gonna be a hit. And like Michael's been on like my shows multiple times, and like he'll see the and like his wife was there was one episode his wife was on the floor and she was like, "No, he didn't." Literally, no, he didn't in the background, and I was like, really? But like, I'm all like I said, I'm always willing to support people. I'm always willing to be there for people because like that's the goal. And my thing about it is like, if you don't support them, they don't want to try again.
Yeah.
Because it's that one time that they get that like it wasn't good, bro. It wasn't. It wasn't. It's not your calling, and
Yeah.
then that can
Yeah.
tear them so far away. Like I'm not a poetry person. Like I write music, I do all this stuff, but I don't do poetry. So anytime I hear poetry or stuff like that, junior camp meeting, all that stuff, anywhere at a church service, I'm like, yo, that is really inspirational. That
Yeah.
person really got to get. And like, if I could find a person, I would put that in like all the stuff that I do for youth and everything like that. Because poetry has a way of speaking to somebody and connecting with somebody in a deeper meaning. And and that's kind of always my goal. Like, help push them, help get somebody to that next level. Because
Yeah.
once they get there, like they may make it big and bad and everything like that in the end. And I'll be like, I remember when you started. I'm so proud of you where you're at now.
Devin Franklin puts it in that book, one of his books called, I think it's 10 Hollywood Commandments. And he talks about that, even his own experience with his churches in the SDA, that we don't create in our churches platform for people to be successful in the secular world. Like we're afraid of the secular world. Remember, Daniel lived in a secular world, you know what I'm saying? And so we're afraid of them to live. So we don't create platforms for the successful. So we choke them out and said they got to go through this one tube that they don't have the gifts or the talents for. And they don't feel, hey, I don't feel to preach, but I'm great at putting on a production. I'm great at putting on a skit. I'm great at writing music or rap. I'm making beats. Like, think about somebody like a young person. I got some serious blessed beats that I made here that I really feel that we can do something and inspire and minister community. Imagine him coming to a well conservative senior elder or pastor with that. You know what I'm saying? And plays it for them. They're like, man, we're not gonna do that. That's all. You see what I'm saying? And so you're saying that we need to create opportunities. So once again, shout out to you, Avery. We got to create more opportunities for young people, use their talents so they can tap into what the Holy Spirit got for them and just do great things both in the church and into the secular world.
And I think on a wider scale, we always talk about pushing, people to their limits, even if they, flop. I think everyone has a opportunity or a place where they do things that just aren't good. But I think the missed opportunity in flops is learning from your mistakes.
Yeah.
And going back to the sports example, a couple nights ago, Klay Thompson, he shot like 8 for 25. He only made 8 threes out of 25. What happened to the rest of the baskets he missed, right? But even though he shot very poorly, the Warriors are still going to give him the ball at the 3-point line, and
Yeah.
he's going to shoot, even though he's having a bad shooting night. Why? Because shooters shoot the ball.
Yeah.
So what I guess what I'm trying to get to anyone listening here is at if at first you don't succeed, try again. You gotta keep going, because the opportunity you're going to miss is not doing what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Going back to sports, I think it's Michael Jordan that says you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you don't if you do something and it goes south real fast, but then you don't try it again, then that in itself is a missed opportunity to perfect whatever God has put into you.
I like that. If you try again, and that's one thing I've always been, cause like I don't like I play basketball, but I'm not a Michael Jordan basketball player. I'm not a LeBron James. I'm not anything. When I played for my church team, I was the bench boy because I was always on the bench. They would put
Yeah.
me in for 2 seconds, and my goal was always you run and just body slam whoever's about to like when they're too high up in the point. Now I'm the youngest kid and I was just chubby. So they're like, okay, so Avery, we gonna put you in, you gonna foul out, and you just gonna come sit back down. I was like, that's all I'm good. That's all I'm good for. So I was playing for my Fairhaven Church 19. So they put me in, I'll go, ha, and then the guy will fall down, and then I would go sit right back down. But like I said, but I was always trying to be that player. I was always trying to be that game. Like I still go to the gym when I can, play a little basketball and all that stuff when I can. But like I said, I'm not a basketball player. That wasn't my calling. But I'm always. But my point with that is like I still kept trying. Like
Yeah.
I would be at practice every day. I would still keep shooting the ball. I was making layups and all that stuff at practice, but I was only put in the game to
Yeah.
literally knock somebody down and then put them back up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that with opportunities. So, as you guys have gone through ministry and everything like that, what do you feel like every church you get a new opportunity? What do you feel is the opportunity that you have? Well, Michael, you're leaving your previous church, so it was like with your last church. What was the opportunity you saw? And Pastor White, what's the opportunity you see with your churches you have now?
Is there a way to I guess reframe your question? I'm
Yes.
just trying to understand what
All
you're
right.
Put it in
So,
English.
what's the what are the opportunities you saw at the church that you had? So that's your question. What are the opportunities you see, Pastor White, with the churches you have now? Like, do you see any new opportunities, or even when you first got to the church, what opportunities did you foresee happening with the churches that you're at?
So I guess I can speak to this. I try to I try to be optimistic in every aspect of life. So when I was at my previous assignment, even going to my next assignment, um, we had children's ministries because the pastor had a child. All right, so our children's ministry department consists of one little boy who is 2 years old right now. He's in the other room. so what we wanted to do was create an atmosphere that could be accessible to all children. So of
Mhm.
course, we want to help the community in every endeavor. There's a lot of kids everywhere in the neighborhood our church is in. So we could have said, we're not going to have vacation Bible school because we don't have any children. My son doesn't know he doesn't understand anything we're talking about, even right now. So what we did was we had a vacation Bible school, and all the kids in Vacation Bible School were from the community. Like we literally had our church people coming, volunteering for kids that aren't even a part of our church. They
Wow.
probably won't ever be a part of our church if their parents don't bring them back. But the point here is we wanted to reach out and help people in the community. And if they think Vacation Bible School could be a daycare for like an hour and a half for 7 days, so be it. We had something in the summer for the kids who are running around in the neighborhood. Another opportunity, definitely with COVID, it kind of gave me more ammunition to get this done. But I came to the church and they had no type of streaming, nothing, no camera, no computer. They had a projector. They were bringing their own laptops to the church. I said, "Nah, we can't do that. We're online now." So that's another opportunity to reach more people than our little circle in the church. We can push this out to the community. They can join our Facebook group. They can find out what we offer. It's another opportunity to serve people around you who aren't in your bubble.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know,
Absolutely.
great work there, Michael. I mean, he's right. Sometimes opportunities come when you know, extend your family, you know, certain needs, immediate family needs. The church might not be focused on that, but you're like, we need something for this little one here. So that is true. In addition to that, for me, opportunity was people. You know, wherever you have people, you have opportunities, you have ideas. I'm an ideas person. I like thinking tanks, you know what I'm saying? Those thinking bubbles, you know, where people sit down, come up with some ideas, whatever the case may be. I'm not one of those leaders that like, boom, I know the vision off the back. I know exactly every goal. I know boom, boom, boom. This is what we're gonna do, whatever. I like, you know, thinking cats. Okay, what can we do different? You know, what have we done in past 20 years? Has that worked? Is it effective? Is it ineffective? What we do different? You know, give me some. That's why I said when you asked the first question about young people, I said, no, I'll be begging for ideas. Come on, give me some ideas. You know, but what happens is sometimes churches look at the pastor like, what you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I just got here. Community for the past 30, 40 years. You know, I just got here. You know,
Yeah.
so I like that. So for me, one of my things is people. Each person is an opportunity. You know,
Mm-hmm.
an opportunity to possess some that could do great things for the church, community, for the world, you know, and even for their own personal lives. You know, I love investing in people. I really do. And I'm one of those people. They said Madden, one of the reasons why he was not successful as numbers when it came to a coach, he retired early because of his health, is because he invested too much in people, in his players. You see what I'm saying? He took time. He went to see them at their houses. He cared about them. So I'm one of those people that invest in people. So I may not have longevity in ministry per se, Mike. You know, it's a message to you, Mike, a warning to you, because I'm one of those people that I really invest myself into people, and with that. And so last year I had to repel and like, okay, let's do this, but we could do this the right way. So for me, when I went to Berean and Trinity, it was people. It was people. Just seeing these people, great ideas, people doing had ideas and said, okay, let's put these things to put some you know, gravy to these meat and let's feed it to the world.
Really? Oh, really? Yeah. When I first came back from school, I became the assistant AY leader, and that like my cousin was in charge, and I love my cousin Taryn. Like she was in charge of it. She was running. We were doing programs and everything like that. But I was like, what are we doing that's like crazy and out the box? And as everybody knows, I'm like, I'm out the box. If I want to do a program, I'm not gonna do a normal program. I was like, what are we doing that's out the box? They're like, we having like normal AY programs. I was like, well, I want to be out the box. So let's do this. And so I watch television. I like game shows. I love all that type of stuff. So I was always watching, like, you'll see the Family Feud, you'll see the Jeopardy, you'll see Double Dare, you'll see all them shows. I'm like, why are we not doing these in the church? And they're like, because they're secular. And I was like, but you can make them biblical. So I was
Yeah.
like, we should try and do it like this. We should try to do it like that. And so, like, as the years progressed, I started doing that. Like, I put on a whole Family Feud game, and I came out like I'm Avery Harvey. See, I'm the different. Like, you got Steve Harvey, he don't have no hair. I'm Avery Harvey. I got the hair, just don't got the mustache. So I was like, literally, I would bring the comical spec into it, and that game became so popular at Fairhaven. Like, our Family Life Ministry people would, like, when they were having a big service, they would ask me to do Family Feud, and I was like, okay, all right, cool, it's fun. I brought lip sync battle. I brought Beat Shazam. Nick Cannon has his show Wildin' Out that a lot of people took. I was like, yo, I'm gonna take that and make it gospel,
Yeah, yeah,
Bible and out. And
yeah,
so
yeah,
I
yeah.
created that. I had my first one with Pastor North, and so as I grew, I was kind of like, I don't want to, miss any opportunities out there. And like, as I saw stuff progress, and even now, before COVID hit, like, my plan, I was like, I'm gonna do a gospel mass singer, and like, I'm gonna
Mm,
bring people in the church, get people of the Motor City Federation people. We're gonna do a whole mass singer. Then COVID hit, so it knocked that opportunity down. But I was like, yo, now that we're opening up, now that we're getting, I was like, I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna find a
yeah,
way to do it. Because
yeah.
when I saw the actual show, Mass Singer, still going, even with COVID, and even they had some people who participated, like, they took off their masks and they had a mask under the mask. And I'm like, and I was like, oh, they're like, I have health issues. I don't want. I was like, I respect that. I was like, there are ways to do things out of the box and bring different fun activities to reach youth and young adults who are living in the world. Because, like, a lot of them, you say wilding out, they'll probably look at you and be like, "Oh, yeah, I watch that all the time. Yeah, I see that show all the time. It's hilarious." Da, 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 da. I was like, "Okay, what about brought it in and did Bible now? Would you?" And a lot of young people, when I did it, Pastor White, 'cause I think I did it when you brought your family and everything to the church. We
Yep,
did Bible and out, and
yep.
your kids had a fun time. It was a
Yes, sir.
blast because it's a different opportunity. It's a different experience.
Yes, sir.
And so that's one thing I really enjoy. And that was the opportunity I saw when I got out of college. I was like, we're not doing things that are like that are reaching people who are out there. We're doing things that are kind of reaching people who are already in the church. And my thing is, they're already in the church. I was like, they're already here. I know
Yeah,
we're trying to keep them here, but my goal is like, I'm trying to bring more in.
yeah. We like to
So,
do
like,
babysitting.
exactly.
Hey, let me ask you, Avery. Do you know? Okay, remember, I don't. A lot of churches don't do it no more. But remember
Mm-hmm.
when they used to do the big tent?
Mm-hmm.
Those evangelisms here. Do you know where they came from?
Mm-hmm.
It
Do
came
not.
from. It came from the secular world. It came
Ah,
from the secular world in the 1800s. 1800s. The places that used to do tent were what? Circuses.
true.
They used to go places, just carry a tent, put on a big show in the inner city or the urban area or rural areas, and everybody will come. So churches saw like, oh, whoa, hey, we should do that. And what happened? They mimic it. So when people are like, oh, that's secular, oh, that's like, come on, let's stop doing that. Let's just be really honest and true with ourselves and like just say you're lazy. Just say you don't want to put the work into it, the effort, because these are, like we say, missed opportunities. You got to have a part 2 and part 3 about, because we miss so much opportunities, AV, because people say that same thing. Oh, that's secular. Well, what does that mean? Like, we do live in a secular world. Once you leave the church building, once the pastor says amen, we enter back into the secular world. As a matter of fact, we don't exit into like this denomination dimension. So once we go into the church building, we now go into this new dimension in the multiverse. You know what I'm saying? And so this is now the spiritual verse. And then once we leave it, now the sky open up and we go back into, no, we're still part of the secular world. And a lot of stuff that we do had a secular origin. All we did was just wash it, clean it, and prayed over it and said, hey, this is a great idea. Let's use this for the glory of God. Yes, we differentiate what is really ungodly. Like, we're not gonna have a stripping pole on the middle of the platform. You know what I'm saying? We're not. That's just not. That's not. I can't see. Maybe another person could see how that could work. You know what I'm saying? But not. I can't see that. Would that work? But there is ministries that we could do. You know what I'm saying? For example, I'll never forget which movie I saw. Tyler Perry movie, when he first really was hitting it, and this lady was going to prostitutes and handing out condoms. Now you bring that up in one of our churches, we're about to have a protest. But here was her story. She was a former prostitute. She was raped, right? She has a group home, and she's a social worker. And so she's been there. And so she knows the harm and the diseases that these girls could get. So she felt that was her ministry. Some people, of course, going to backlash that, but that's not your ministry. You weren't there, so you don't know what that lifestyle is. So let's tell people, stop saying, oh, that's not secular, that's not what is spiritual, like we in two different multiverses. People just are lazy. We're just lazy as a church, and I include myself. We are just lazy. We don't want to put the work in it. We don't want to create creativity, and we don't want to be said, oh, that failed, that didn't work out. So we don't want to take the risk.
I like that. So this is the last and final question. Final question for you guys. What is a message that you would send to youth, young adults, and adults who have missed the opportunity in their life? What is that one message you will share to them or say to them who have missed their opportunity in their life or had a moment like you guys in their life where they missed something or they see problems and they're always trying to fix things? So what's one word message that you would give to them or send to them as your final thought?
So you're looking for a shortened message, but I have a story for everything.
On top.
So I'm gonna just keep it short. But I was in a class one time, and before the professor started during orientation week, he said the only stupid questions are the ones not asked. Of relating this to opportunities, going back, we're just going to circle right back around. The missed opportunities are the ones that aren't that you don't go after. You will miss 100% of the opportunities that you don't take. You got to take a risk. You got to put yourself out there, and you just got to do it. If I'm going to borrow a one phrase sentence, I'm going to use what Nike uses all the time. Just do it.
All right, just do it. I like it. Pastor White.
Eric and another motive, I think, was Michael Brown. They've said it's similar. They said there's some of the world's greatest opportunities, the world's greatest ideas are all asleep in the cemetery. People were scared. People were they found reasons to try. I have now, but when podcasts first came out, we were in Atlanta, and my homeboy Ed, he started a sports commentary podcast, and they did opening drive, and then I started one too, and I was like, man, okay, this is cool. And like I said, I wasn't pastoring yet, I was just transitioning, but I was like, you know what I said, I still felt ministry on my back, so I wasn't going to wait for my church. My church didn't even want to get involved with Facebook at that time. This was 2007. They didn't even want to get Facebook, Mike.
Nice.
Seriously, one of the leaders, oh, that's same thing. That's secular. Get involved. So I was like, okay. I started a podcast, and it was called Conscious Radio. And basically, we played secular songs, but tasteful stuff. But we talked about issues. Use a Christian solution. You know what I'm saying? But I did like a lot of people. I was like, okay, not getting the support. And I canceled it. I dropped it. Went back, looked at my numbers, and I was like, whoa, people were still listening to it after episodes. They were still listening to it. That's the beauty with podcasts. So that's why I resurrected my podcast ministry. So what I'm saying to the young person who's listening, or young adult out there who's listening, yes, it's beautiful at times to bring your idea to the church channel, and I want one of those pastors. Bring me an idea. Hey, do this together. I'll help you grow that idea. Avery is one of those people. And I know Mike Shelton is one of those pastors. Like, hey, let's embrace this idea. But if you may have a team, a worship leader, or a leader say, no, we're not really interested in that. That doesn't limit you from doing ministry. No, ministry doesn't stop in the four walls of your church. You can create your own independent ministries at home. Grab yourself a mic, grab yourself a light. Do what Avery is doing. Boom. Pay a little. Do you invest in your own ministry? What I'm saying is, there's nothing being a trial but a failure. Try. It fails. Try something else. Most successful businesses, it wasn't the first idea. They usually had 5 other ideas that failed, and then finally, okay, boom, this one worked for them. Don't be scared. Don't take that idea to the grave. Please don't do that. Jesus, don't take that idea to the grave. You feel impressed? Do it. Talk to people who believe in dreams, who have resources. Tap into people that, you don't need to know everything, but put yourself a little team together. And y'all go do it. My son, he's over there doing music, the other one doing art, and my daughter's still trying to find herself. I'm like, listen, y'all do what y'all need me to buy, what you need mom, dad to buy, because we're just investing in their talents. And sometimes when I preach, my son is my harshest critique. He's like, Dad, why did you have to read the whole 10 verses? Why couldn't you just read 1 verse, 2 verses? We got it there. But you know how we are, Mike. My ego. Wait till your baby boy gets older. He's gonna be checking on you, Mike. He's gonna be like, Dad, really, Dad? But when I listen to them and put my ego to the side, I say, okay, I see what he's trying to say here. Okay, tapped it out. But notice too, when I'm, like you said, you look at the eyes. Are they really into it? Are they on their phone? What are they doing? And so, young people, young adults, even senior people, you have ideas too. Put that thing out there, man. Put it out there. Jesus is coming, and the more way we can spread this gospel, the better, man. Don't wait for the church's permission. Do it.
I like it. And that I do appreciate, and that's always kind of my word to like every young person out there. I like, it doesn't matter if the church may say no to a lot of things. The church may cancel that opportunity. But like ministry, like you said, it doesn't have to be in the 4 walls of your church. Like, you can start your own street ministry. There are a lot of people who start their own street ministry, and some of those street ministries are more successful than the church's ministries.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just because somebody turned them down, told them no, and they're like, "All right, I'm going to do it on my own." So my thing is,
Can I
like,
say one more thing?
yeah,
Sorry. I mean to prolong. So we were in Atlanta. No, we were in Florida. I was at Oakwood, and my drama ministry was there, MCON in there. And we went down to Miami. We did this whole week for 2 things. We did a whole week series. It was all acting, Mike. There was no preaching. They called us there. Every night we did different skits leading up to a full play at the end. But one of the days we went to a place called Job Corps. And Job Corps is for trade people, teenagers who don't want to do academia. They want to go trade. And so we did the play, but like I said, we thought we were big shots. They brought us down to Miami. We did the play. The play was cool, but there was like half of the group, the teenagers weren't in there. So we went outside, and the whole playground was filled. Music was playing. 2 of my guys and 2 of their guys were doing battle rap. These cats were battling trap music. Well, trap music wasn't popular then, but they were, street music, cursing and everything. And 2 of our guys were in there battling, but they were preaching the gospel. Like they were, back that time, 2000, rap was like gospel Christian rap was still like, Christian hip hop was still iffy, but these dudes were like going at it with them. But every time the guys would curse, and the guys who were cursing and talking street stuff, it was like the typical. But when our guys would start rapping about Jesus, it was like you had even tears. One girl was like tearing up. Another girl was like, "Hey, what they talking about Jesus?" The other girl was like, "Shut up, shut up! You're talking about Jesus. Just listen to him. It ain't important." You know what I'm saying? So, young people, please, like he said, please, just let the Spirit lead you. Let him lead you. Try it. You know, just like Mike said, just do it, man. Just do it with the Holy Spirit, though. With the Holy Spirit.
Yes, sir. All right. So again, I want to thank you guys for being a part of the first show of the year, the conversation dealing with missing opportunities. We really appreciate you guys coming through and being a part. So we want to thank you again, and we will definitely be bringing you guys back as well.
Thanks, man.
All
Thanks for
right.
the opportunity. I'm gonna watch my game now. Thanks.
All right.
I don't want to miss that opportunity.
All right. All right. So we will see you guys next time. All right, and for all of you who tuned in, we just want to let you know about a couple things we got with AY coming up. So like I said before, we have the conversation like we had today. That is every third Sunday of the month, and it'll be at 4 p.m. Next month, we will be having the ladies' conversation, and you don't want to miss that one. Every second Sunday, we have something we call Game On. Game On is when we do a fun game activity where it could be Family Feud, Beat Shazam, lip sync battles, so many opportunities, so many games, Bible charades, and things like that. So you don't want to miss that every second Sunday. Then every fourth Sunday, we have something that I'm so empowering and so excited about. It's called Get Connected. It's our young adult service that we're doing every fourth Sunday, and it's built and created by young adults of the church, and we don't want you guys to miss it. So tune into that every fourth. So again, we want to thank you guys for tuning in, and for those who like to donate to our AY, we are no longer Power AYS. Our AYS theme this year is AY Connect. But we will be changing that. But to donate, it's still the same way. You can mail to the Fairhaven SDA Church, P.O. Box 186, Flint, Michigan 48502, and just put the AYS department. Or you can drop it off at our church every Saturday between 3 and 5, except for on first and third Saturdays, we are live and in the sanctuary. So you can come and drop your tithes off and put a donation to AYS. Or you can even, we came into the 21st century with the Cash App, you feel me? So you can Cash App us and send it to $Fair SDA. And in the memo, just put AYS department to support us. So again, we want to thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you guys next month with Game On, the conversation, and AY Get Connected. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.